Good evening, sisters and brothers. I'm so happy that you tuned in this evening for another report, the Melanin Report 360, the Melanin Report 360, the Melanin Report 360. Follow, share, and like. Follow, share, and like. I did a post on Facebook today that I'm tuned in on Sunday through Thursday, right here on about to say Amazon. So right here on YouTube. So thank you so much for tuning in. Like, share, subscribe, like, share, subscribe, like, share, subscribe. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So I hope everyone had a beautiful day. It was kind of cloudy here today, so I didn't have too much motivation to go out because I went to LA Fitness yesterday and got my workout on. So I did some things that didn't require leaving the house, which once in a while, maybe once a month, twice a month, I try to do that, not moving the cars and just trying to stay focused on things I'm working on, which is quite a few things. And stay tuned for that, probably by or before the month ends. So I'm looking into some folks now to do certain things and blah, blah, blah. So stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for that. So like, share, subscribe, follow, like, share, subscribe, follow, like, share, subscribe, follow. So I wanted to kick off the first day of Black History Month, also known as Melanin History Month, Melanated History Month. And so it's a short month, as we know. So we were given the shortest month of the year, but this is not, I'm not too surprised on that. So going past that, I wanted to stop a moment to talk about homelessness population, because I believe King and Malcolm and all the other greats, they weren't necessarily did not focus on homelessness per se, but I'm sure that they had the opinion that in this whole best society ever on the planet Earth, as we've been told that we are, um, it's just so surprising that we have quite a few people homeless. So let me go ahead and read the fair use disclaimer so I can go into some particulars about my journey down to South Mountain not too long ago, about a week ago, 4 or 5 days ago. So we can go into it. So fair use, copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute, which may otherwise be infringing. I wanted to go ahead and get that out of the way as we dot our I's, cross our T's. So I hope everyone had a great day, as I did. But I was reflecting on a few things that happened like I said, about 4 or 5 days ago. I went down to an area in the valley that was it was pretty much where I used to live, which was kind of South Mountainish. And, I was there 4 years, 3 years. So it was not unusual as here to see people on the corners and all of that. This is pretty much throughout the valley, exclusively the city. I'm a city person, and we don't have. Unfortunately, we're not immune to seeing homeless population. So it was really startling that I was driving to that area. I was going over to do something, which took me down to South Mountain area. And it was just shocking to see multiple tents, I mean, on this one strip. And it was like homeless families slash people. And directly across the street, I was on a paved street, so it's not like I was in a remote, no lights or blinking lights, or was I in the city limits? Yes, this is in the city limits. So I noticed a series of, like I said, tents, along the sidewalk. It wasn't even in the most populous area of homelessness in the valley, and that was like mostly downtown, more specifically downtown. I wasn't too far from the airport, not too far, maybe 5, 6 miles from the airport. But it was really startling to see in this country, the greatest country that was ever created in all of the world, that wants you to believe. I mean, we have tons of people are homeless, tons of people. I think it's probably like over 1 million people are homeless, and right now, I think with COVID and this and that and the other, it's probably going to increase over time, unfortunately. So I wonder what services are going to be rolled out um, with the new administration, or the private donors. I know there are a lot of people with a lot of money in our community. Um, I mean, I don't know what the answer is, but we have so many hotels vacant, not occupied. The winter is here. We had some, even in the valley, we had some rainy weather the last 7 days. We've had rain, it's a significant amount of rain, because we're in a desert. So it's few and far between that we have rain. Um, and it was cool. It was definitely cool a few days. Uh, so why is this? When I was looking, like I said, I was on a paved street, so it wasn't like a remote area or a countryside and blah blah blah. But I looked across the street, across the parking lot, because I went down a street that wasn't too busy, but people were going and coming. But the GPS took me down this particular area where I was going, so I had to go through this community. And when I looked directly across the street from this series of homeless people, and they were all in tents, it was kind of chilly. I noticed directly across the street a big 18 wheeler that was parked, Cox Communications. And it's a private company, and that's a multi gazillion dollar company. So I'm saying to you, why haven't, I mean, this company could write a check and get those people off of the street and probably do a tax deduction out the kazang. They would probably get the benefits of doing such an act. But how can you see homeless people tents set up? And these are like established. They're in, they put the stake or whatever in the ground and all that. But these are homeless people in the US, the United States. So the way people, this country would like you to feel and believe this is the greatest country on the planet Earth ever was created, which we know that's not so much true, but um, it's shocking to me that in COVID time that would be encouraged because I would think if they at least tested them, put them in hotels, the city or donors or whatever, if you have an interest in a particular population, you're going to pull out all the resources to help that population. You know, it's just like melanated people. If we are being knocked out, killed by police officers day in, day out. If there was a concerted effort to stop that, we can do it. We would be able to do that. But apparently, there isn't a lot of interest in this underserved population. They're probably, not eating maybe once a day, every other day. Um, a lot of times, services here, you need to have an address. These people may or may not have an address. But throughout this country, this is a problem. And it's going to increase over time because of the COVID and people not working, etc. So it just boggles my mind because the amount of resources that pour into this city and many other cities throughout the country. We're about sometimes Houston is number 4, and sometimes we're number 4. But clearly, we have enough resources. We pay enough taxes that we could get a handle on this homelessness. And this is throughout the country. I'm not picking on the valley specifically. I reside here, so I see people, when you go down to the light, blah blah blah, people are, and this is sad because we are quote unquote the richest country on the face of the planet, which is not so much true. But they want you to believe that. So if it is, where are the resources for this community, these communities, throughout the country? I think, I did a little bit of research before I came on, and I think there's one, Finland has less than 5,000 people homeless. Finland, Finland. And I think Japan is very low. And I think, let's see what came up. 1.3 million annually are homeless. These numbers are going to just increase with people out of work. The soup kitchens are wrapped around. They're wrapped around the building. It's just a recipe for further disaster and people not having a place to lay their head, a comfortable place to lay their head. This is really upsetting to me. So 1.3 million people are homeless annually. So that's like a revolving. So some people get back on their feet, get a place, blah, blah, blah. It seems to be there should be amount of funds allocated for zero homelessness. I don't understand why that is not the case. Can someone text me or email me or let me know what am I missing? What am I missing? So the statistics are homelessness. It's pretty startling. Um, Okay, so facts that people aren't aware of with homelessness. You could fill 5 football stadiums full of homeless population. So 5 football stadiums. They said, 1.3 million was possible. Every year, 2.5 million children experience homelessness. That's almost the entire population of Chicago. So again, where are the services? Where are the services? And I'm talking about all of the people, you know, especially our people, because we know we're disproportionately affected with COVID and this and that and the other. But this is really interesting that we are living in the time of homelessness as at its best, unlike, or should I say, at its worst. So 40% of school age children have a mental health problem. 40%. Now, I don't know who this is. American Institute for Research, that's the source. So think about that. 40% of homeless children, homeless school age children have a mental health problem. You don't say. They're not eating properly, they don't have the services, etc. It's just a domino effect. And, these things just don't happen in a bubble. I mean, this country has known about homelessness forever. And there's never been more important time to recognize and heal this nation in all areas. Heal the nation in areas of health, wellness, COVID, homelessness. We have a lot of we have a lot of work to do. We have a lot of work to do. So more than half of homeless veterans have a mental and or physical disability. This is tragic. We did not, or we do not take care of our veterans. Um, this is just shameful. I think this is an issue it's a little bit more coming into the fold now because of the numbers increasing with COVID and all that. But clearly, this is the greatest country on the planet ever, you know, but we can't even feed our people. We can't even house our people. This is really tragic. So on a single night in 2019, homeless services providers had more than 48,000 beds set aside for survivors of domestic violence. So that's a whole different category because if you leave your home because of abuse and you go into the shelter, that's a whole, because you've got to deal with services of, mental health services for feeling, the abuse, how long it's gone on, and whatever. That would be really, really critical. So this is where we are. Being homeless could take 20 to 30 years off of your life. So, the mortality decreases, and we have to get a handle on this. We really have to get a handle on this. So anyone could be at risk of homelessness. So we all know that with COVID-19 and so forth. But this is the biggest secret and tragedy in this country is the homelessness population. And with the new administration, I don't know if they're putting funds aside, private donors, etc. They're so concerned with the inoculations. In fact, I received on my phone today, I don't want to mention the company, and this is in real time. So today, I'm going to go to the text. So I received a text today, and let's see, they had my first name in, let me see, let's see, it was, okay, so they had my first name spelled correctly, and the company, I'm not going to mention a company, um, is enrolling for COVID vaccine trial in Phoenix. Compensation up to $1,500 a year. So they're paying people for getting their arm, you know. I don't want to explore my thoughts on that, but I will go on to say be cautious of the vaccine. I don't want to say one way or the other. You know, I just don't want to say. Just be cautious. Yeah, just be cautious. I will say that. Be cautious. And I don't know if you have lived 80, 86 years, 87 years, um, why someone would feel healthy. Why would someone feel like they had to prove a point to get the vaccine? So only for, you know, their demise, unfortunate demise. So just be cautious. Just be cautious because this old society is rolling out and there is a new society emerging. We can see it, you know, front and center. And the things we used to take advantage of, go to the movies, go out for dinner, folks, with people. We had a sister circle here once a month. I think we had one, I want to say February of last year. It's been a year. And so we would gather at the sister's house here, and we'd have, I think last time we had like maybe 30 sisters, you know, and that went away, you know. I need to contact that sister because I want to just reach out and say Happy New Year, what's going on. Yeah, it's a whole different changing of the guard. We know that. We know that what has happened is flipping everything on its head. And I'm just really concerned with the population that's homeless because I know it's only going to increase over time. So I just want to remind people, you know, organizations, if you are working, you have, you know, a little bit extra after the savings, the bills are paid, etc. If you're able to give is any kind of way to a service organization, you know that the money, like 98% of the money goes right to the source. It goes right to the people. You know, I would definitely encourage that because that's what I have been doing. And I typically give to a couple of organizations quarterly. And I used to have it come out of my account. I was like, no, we're going to manage that a little bit better. So, you know, I write a check out like quarterly, you know, um, just whatever you have, even if it's $25, $30, you know, 4 times a year, 3 times a year, twice a year, once a year. would be better than zero. So something is better than nothing. But yeah, I think from that experience from last week, because I think it was Thursday, and I had another topic that came to mind. And I just wanted to roll out in the spirit of not only love, but Black History Month. We need to watch out and look over, look after our people, our sisters, our brothers, because I don't think this year is much going to be much better. Maybe in leadership, quote unquote leadership, but that's your leadership, how you lead your life. So make sure that you're giving, you're spending your money wisely. We talked about that yesterday. And, we're going to get on the other side of this, but I do know there's going to be a little bit of some casualties. Um, it's just going to turn thing upside down. Everything is being turned upside down. So that that is pretty much it. It's going to be a short video. I just wanted to raise your awareness and consciousness to homeless population. I do believe that you know things are going to get worse before they get better. Just be in mind of that. But we're going to get over this. We're going to get through this. We're going to get on the other side of this. So be encouraged, be encouraged, be encouraged, and keep the faith. Keep the faith. And we're going to talk about faith tomorrow. We're going to talk about faith tomorrow. And so I just want to remind you of what's going on. Look outside your window, see if there's someone that you can, what I do when I throw stuff out, not in the trash. I think if I'm recycling something, and even if it's books or if it's stuff that somebody else could use, something that's perfectly fine, but I don't have any use because of what's going on, I put a few things not in the dumpster, but next to the dumpster. And sure enough, I put a blanket, and this was about a week and a half ago, and it's got really chilly the last few nights of, that was last month. Yeah, it got really chilly, it got cold. One moment, please. Mm, nothing like water. Yeah, I put a blanket outside, because it was chilly that week. We've kind of gone, the weather's going to be in the 70s, I think, next week. And, we got a little bit of rain coming in towards the end of the week. Anyway, I say all that to say, I left the blanket, I didn't put it in a dumpster, but I left it outside of the dumpster and I folded it up. And sure enough, like 3 hours later, I went back to get my mail and that blanket was gone, you know. So I think there's a time, if you can give a little bit more, if you're in that position to give a little bit more right now, this is the time to do it. Because you don't even know your next door neighbor, etc., if he or she has food, you know. Um, yeah, it's a good time to be more given. And with Heart Month, and also coupled with Melanated Month or Black History Month, let's dig a little deeper. Let's be of kind nature, because everyone is just in a turmoil. We have to rise up to the occasion of recognizing our benefit of being melanated people. We are we are anchored this country. We anchored this country. We continue to assert in this country, And so don't be fooled. Some of our people are doing very, 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 very well. And some people not so much. But no matter what, do your part. Just do your part. And we'll talk about faith, religion. That'll be a tough subject tomorrow, but I'm going to try and take it on. So yeah, thank you for listening. Like, share, subscribe. Like, share, subscribe. The Melanin Report 360. The Melanin Report 360. The Melanin Report 360. I'm Deanne, and I look forward to reading your comments. If you have questions, feel free to contact me. You know how to reach me, and either phone or a text message, etc. And I look forward to your comments. Thank you so much for tuning in. And I will say it's been a beautiful evening with you. Thank you so much for listening. And I'll see you really soon. Take care. Peace.